Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Comics in Brief, our show of news and reviews. Let's get on with it. For those of you that saw last week's This Week in Comics, I interviewed my common-law brother-in-law, Tyler Shainline, who wrote The Beef. He created The Beef, and for those of you that have ever been in a class where you had to review your peers, maybe in a job where you had to give your opinion about something, it can be a little difficult, especially when they can reach out and slap you. But I live a city or two away from Tyler and he drives like a maniac, so I really shouldn't have to worry about that. The Beef #1 is billed as a biochemical romance. There is a lot of past and present parts to the story. I actually like the way that Tyler does this stuff. He has a then and a now. A lot of times in comics, the then is going to be an element of the story that's going to be very pertinent to one scene, whereas in this book it just really builds on the characteristics of the characters that we're going to see in the present day situation. So he does a very good job in that. Shaky Kane's art is very stylized. It's kind of like a Kirby all-red mess, and it really works well for this book because it's a mess. I liked it a lot. I thought it was very good. There was some very funny moments. There's a lot of blood in this comic, a lot of cow death. And if you're into that type of stuff, you should definitely be picking up this book. I look forward to how the rest of the series is going to continue. And of course, I'm going to have to read it anyway. Pick up The Beef. It hasn't quite sold out like it was mentioned that it was, but I'm sure it's running out quick. Next up we have Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man #300. This is the continuation of the story that kicked off in Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #1. Yes, there has been 300 issues of this book, but Chip Zdarsky hasn't written them all. There was a big old legacy renumbering thing if you aren't into that and don't understand what's going on. That's what it is. Anyhow, this book is very good. I really enjoy the story. Pays attention to Spider-Man history that's gone on before Chip wrote the book. And the artwork, although is not my favorite Adam Kubert work, it tells a very good story. This is the 300th issue and there's some little bonus stuff in there that makes it worthwhile. The price isn't so expensive or as exorbitant as other Marvel special books are, but it's gonna set you back a couple bucks. I have been really enjoying the story. The only thing about this is you'd kind of expect that it would end with the 300th issue, but no, it's still going on. And I don't know how long it's gonna continue, so that's kind of a cool thing. Pick up Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man. It is a good read. Next up we have Avengers, number 681 and 682. I was meant to review it weekly, but I kind of forgot. So last week, 681, I think my review was primarily that I forgot to review it, and that should let you know what I think about it. Although, in that issue, the main character that's being voiced in caption boxes is Rogue, and the art is really pretty. But it's just a continuation of another story, into 682, which is voice boxed with the Red Wolf, who is a Native American character who was transported in time and hanging around Hawkeye and Occupy Avengers. Another Avengers book that was canceled and is in this series. Again, the artwork is very good and the story has progressed. Oh yeah, it's very, oh my god, this book. For like 3 issues we've been hinting at this person in green lettering underneath ground that's going to be coming out. And in the end of this issue, we know for fact who it is, but we're not going to get the full cover of that character for another 2 issues. So that's kind of a weird thing. This is a rambling review, but it's a rambling story. So there you go. Avengers, No Surrender. And lastly, we have a book I've been really looking forward to for some time, The Terrifics #1. Any of you who've been watching any of my previous shows know that I am a big Jeff Lemire fan. I think he is doing some of the best mainstream and actually original graphic novel type work out there. He's a good artist, but he's not doing the art in this book. Ivan Reis is, and he is very good also. When DC wanted to get an artist to fill in after Jim Lee, they picked this guy. He also kicked off Aquaman with Jeff Johns for the New 52. He's very good, and this book is too. I really enjoyed the interaction with the different characters. It's been compared to the Fantastic Four. In fact, most of the new age of heroes that DC has been releasing have been compared to previous Marvel books from past. Since Marvel's not doing them, they might as well. Anyway, the interaction between Plastic Man and Metamorpho are what really make this book good. And like any other book out there that's part of a company, it does another really good thing. It ties into something else, so it makes you want to know what happened there. But it doesn't do so much that it doesn't explain what it is. And I'm talking about the Dark Knight's Metal series that this is spinning off from. So, the Terrifics. I give this a very, very high grade, although I don't grade things. So in news this week, there wasn't really a whole lot of news. There was the Emerald City Comic Convention that occurred, and there were announcements of people within Marvel moving from one book to another, and DC is creating some imprints. One in particular is Neil Gaiman. He is going to be overseeing a Sandman universe. There are going to be a bunch of books. One's going to be written by Cy Spurrier, and a bunch of other writers I don't know that are handpicked by Neil Gaiman are going to be working on others. There's going to be a Lucifer book, Books of Magic book, and a few others. So I'm pretty excited about this. Stay tuned for more news as the information comes out. And in Stan Lee news this week, we have found out that he has been suffering from pneumonia, which is, of course, probably what has led him to have short hospital stays and not being able to attend some conventions recently. Stan Lee is 95 years old and a legend in comics. If you didn't know, get well, Stan. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into another episode. Visit your local comic store and let us know what you thought of my reviews or these comics in the comments down below. Hit the bell for notifications, like the video if you do, and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next week.